All right, folks, it's time for your Game Fuel marquee match of the day. This one, oh boy, we already had a great match to kick things off, but we're gonna have an even better one. Now, I'm Golden Boy, your host, and it's a pleasure to be here alongside each and every one of you at the Galen Center in Los Angeles. Guys, make some noise for yourself, because you've been a great crowd. You've been a great crowd, seriously, seriously. It's good to be back, it's good to be back. But now, it is time to bring out your first team. You saw them yesterday representing the Big Apple. It's the NYSL.
Mack with the first blood. He just jumps on in. A flurry of kills through. Mack, though. Mack gets 3. What a second half of the hard point he had. Nails all 4. The ace for Big Mack. Upward timing. He gets flushed out. But Asim and Mack, that crossfire so good. Asim, all 4, give it to him. Takes down the entire side of FaZe.
This is just an efficient move right now. As HyDra, he has the entire team straight in front of him, gets a couple shots now. Look how much he just slows them down.
Can he get the defuse, player? He does. 23 seconds left on the clock. One more to deal with for Clay. This would be massive.
Welcome back to the stage, the New York Subliners. Coached by the legendary Fear Evan, aka John Bobble. You got yourself a dynamic roster here. You got Clayster returning, and clearly this has been the shot in the arm that this lineup has needed after that win yesterday. Could they go all the way? The question that I'm sure we're all thinking about. Of course, look out for Big Mack to turn up the heat. But I think we all know that this lineup, of course, being Mack, HyDra, Asim, and Clayster, should very well bring the thunder here today. How you feeling about New York? That's what you like to hear. But now, it is time to bring on their opponent, making their way to the stage for the first time. It is the Atlanta FaZe.
And it's done.
Arcitys, he has a family, my friend.
Might be down as the nade doesn't land, and aBeZy. What a nice two-piece that was.
Atlanta FaZe is going to attack from the other side through pillars. They don't care. They said, we're going to water steps. Next offense, we're going right back at
And Simp just doing it all. 3 seconds on the clock, and Cellium a huge win, a huge finesse, and a long drop, and it's done. FaZe.
Making their main stage debut, it's the Atlanta FaZe! Coming into this competition, the #1 seed, 34-7 throughout the year, but they are the uncrowned kings. Is this their time to walk away as champions of the CDL? It is a massive matchup that I'm sure everyone is looking forward to. Your roster, you know them, you love them. You got Arcitys, the Tiny Terrors, you got Simp and aBeZy, and of course, Cellium. And congratulations to Simp, who's your regular season MVP. But now, it is time to start your marquee matchup, your Game Fuel marquee matchup of the day. LA, are you ready? Let's try that one more time. Are you ready? Let's send it over to your casters, Miles and Chance.
Feeling very ready indeed. Oh, Golden Boy, you could wait for dead. I am ready to rock and roll, as I'm sure you are as well. And those of you watching from home, howdy doody. Hope you're enjoying this from wherever the hell you are in the world, but this is going to be a treat. For those of you here in the Galen Center, can't wait. Charles, how you doing, mate?
Dude, fantastic. We get to see Atlanta FaZe for the first time, bouncing back from Simp and aBeZy's worst placing they have ever had as a duo, and it's not like it was even that bad, but that's how good those guys can be. Now we get to see the bounce back, or a chances event where maybe they're a little bit cursed, maybe they don't have enough, but that's just a question they get to answer.
One player is going to be trying to bring them down and give them another bad placement is going to be our Game Fuel featured player, of course, our Game Fuel marquee match. It's your boy HyDra, the French phenom. We will be keeping a close eye on him throughout this entire matchup. He had a stunning day, let's say, against, OpTic yesterday. A brilliant start to champs here, and it's been a wonderful season for him. Of course, Chance, his debut in the CDL. Who does he go up against? None other than Atlanta FaZe, and it went pretty damn well for him.
And he made the French phenom like an incredibly easy nickname to like distribute, right? Because this kid, when he is on point, literally takes over a series. Like, this is the type of game, and we have like such a high skill cap in the league that you need good teamwork. He's one of the very few like true hard carries that we can have. The #1 overall hard point KD, and again, we even got a taste of it yesterday, man. When he is on point, he's clutching against the best players in the world.
I mean, it's crazy to think how hard it was to get him into the country, how long it took for him to get into the country. Now that he's here, now that he's on the roster, he's looking fantastic so far. There we go, HyDra, nothing but love. We'll be watching him very closely indeed throughout this Game Fuel marquee matchup. Chance, we're going to dive into those Game Fuel keys before you know it, mate. We're almost ready to go. The players walked out fast, ready to party, ready to rock and roll. And now so are we. It's now time for the Game Fuel keys to victory. First up, New York Subliners.
And look, one thing, obviously, if you want to talk about HyDra, we'll get that man going, but more importantly, it comes down to that preparation, right? You're going against the team that has been the best in the world, not just this year, but last year as well, and it's also Clayster's former teammates, right? So you know those tendencies, you know how those guys play. You need to make sure everybody's on the same page. Be prepared for the ego child, basically, right? If you see aBeZy's name, get ready for the bullets to start flying your way, and more importantly, set the tone from game #1. When they've had this current roster, every single time they come out, punch them in the mouth straight away, and again, that is the type of pace they need, because we even saw it yesterday against Chicago, right? They win the first couple of maps, a little bit of falter midway through, but as long as they have that strong start, they are a team that is happy to go the distance against any team in the world.
Well, we'll see if they can get it done. On the other side, on the flip side, as you like to say, brother, Game Fuel keys to victory now for Atlanta FaZe. Is it the same as usual, man? Another day in the office?
I mean, effectively, yeah, just making sure everybody's on the same page. And one of the things that happened, right, they had that 0-4 hard point record against Minnesota and Seattle, who at the time were not the strongest hard point teams. And the biggest factor why is like not coordinated as teammates. I was able to catch up with Crowder just a bit, and he was like, literally the only key that matters is communication. If everybody is talking to each other, making sure that we're all on the same page, working together, because it is so easy in Call of Duty just to drift away from your teammates. When you see an opportunity for a play on the map, if it's a solo kind of play, not always the best time to try and take that down so early. So keep these four ready to go right next to each other. If they have their teamwork on point, we already know they have the highest skill cap in the league. If their teamwork is ferocious, well, so are they.
Well, the stage is set. Now we get to see what maps we'll be playing here in this series. Raid, hardpoint up first. We will be treated to a bit of a slower Miami search and destroy. Then a double dose of Garrison towards the very end. Raid, S&D for that game 5. We will see if we have to go the distance. Chance, maps and modes, any glaring opportunities there for either team?
Well, one of the things that stands out is that Miami, right? Neither team necessarily stands out with like an electric record, but they played it once against each other. New York took them down in a 6-3 fashion. It is very much a map where you can do a ton of homework, a ton of game planning, and making those mid-round adjustments. And more importantly, it's a great map set for FaZe, right? Towards the latter half, they have some insane map records, but at the same time, you know they're so good at it that you know that they're going to pick it. When I was talking to JP, he was like, we're trying to delay this veto process as long as possible so they do not have any time to prepare. They knew what maps they were gonna get. New York was completely on top of it, and you know how good they can be when it comes to the homework portion of the game. Even Clayster yesterday, I don't know if you saw his tweet, right? 3 hours of preparation that they said going over VOD just to prepare against FaZe. 3 hours worth of time. We will see how that pays off, and well, the raid hard point to start it all.
Here we go, Galen Center. It's game time, and we are good to go. The first map of this winner's bracket matchup starts right now. Atlanta FaZe, the New York Subliners. This is going to be a humdinger, and we can't wait to get in this one. But you know what? I'll give you one guess. Quick restart, friends. We're going to get into this one in just a moment. Sorry! Sorry. It might be Simp's fault. It's okay. He won a regular season MVP trophy today. We can give him a little bit of slack, but just a little bit. I'm blaming him out of nowhere. That is a gut check. I've got no idea what's going on, but we'll be back ASAP. The refs are on stage. Oh, it's a New York problem. There you go. Well, Chance, all that analysis still lies true, but smiles across the faces. Clay's having a little giggle, and it seems to be, there we go, control problem. We'll get to that one in just a minute, though, mate, but... Oh, no, I've been told that somebody spilled a drink on stage. Oh, come on, boys. Come on! Oh, come on!
I think it was Paco, too. I think it might have been HyDra. He's the only one not around. A little bit too loved to the French phenom and maybe a little bit overexcited, and how excited he can get, right? All smiles yesterday throughout the series they had. And I can't imagine how much fun he is having, right? Because he has been like on the top of the EU Challengers for a long time. I remember when he first got signed by New York, there was a lot of tweets from the EU players being like, thank God we don't have to deal with this guy anymore. Like, holy dear.
aBeZy's not impressed. Not impressed whatsoever. Well, we're all impressed, though, because, again, the other half of the Tiny Terror sitting there in the top 5 hardpoint KDs this season. But the man of the moment, HyDra, still, Chance, a tippity top the mountain. And what a mountain it is. I mean, that could be, what, the Slayer Rushmore of the Call of Duty world.
And well, HyDra, as long as he is here, he's going to be on point. But if you're playing with the Invisible Man, it gets a little bit trickier on the map. Maybe that's how he's going to be in this first hard point on Raid. Just a ghost that it feels like the bullet's just never going to connect.
He's a hard kill.
Whatever it's going to be, looks like he has worked his way back
here
to
he
the
is.
stage.
Woo! He's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's got himself, he's cleaning up the game fuel. That's all right. Well, look, these things happen. We're almost ready to get back into this one. There you go. He's almost ready to rock and roll.
And you really do have to be gentle with those cannons, right? Because they can be as explosive as HyDra's gameplay at times. And, well, it may just take you an extra second, maybe calm the nerves, have a little a joke that you can crack right before you get ready to go. And I think, honestly, HyDra, I mean, you saw right, the 1.2 in hardpoint. He has been one of the very few players, I won't say that can necessarily take the Tiny Terrors down, but at least go toe-to-toe with them, right? Because, yes, you have Simp, that reigning MVP. If I had to take a guess on who got the second most points for that race, it is probably aBeZy.
Yep.
If I had to take a crack, just trying to decide between one of those two players of who you want to crown as the best in the world, well, it's got to be one of them.
Brand new can there for HyDra. He is well and truly HyDra at the accuracy and alertness he'll certainly need in a series like this. And you saw aBeZy throwing not only shoulders in this series, we saw some eyebrows being raised across stage, trying to get in the heads of his former teammate. You know, Clay's going to try to bring that mental game. You know that they all know each other. Everyone's done the homework and they're all ready to go. And friends, you know what that song means. It's time to go.
We are getting ready to go. Fist bumps out and about from both of these teams, and just the opportunity, right, to see how FaZe are going to bounce back. And right now, it's all smiles. They're looking comfortable, and even Simp earlier on told me, he's like, we are feeling good today. But coming off, again, the worst loss of Simp's entire career, and that includes back when he was playing amateurs. The local land was ever going to be. He has literally had nothing but success since the very first time that he has touched the sticks. The greatest Call of Duty players, one of the most skillful that we have ever seen. And now it is just Champ's time on the biggest stage with the fans back in action. Is this going to be the guy, your MVP, to try and take over right from game number 1 against former teammates, looking for that next world championship?
Here we go into Raid. Map number 1. Nades up and about, as is tradition. We're going to fly towards that ring, that first hard point, as both teams will jostle for position. New York in first. Over to Cellium, who finds 2 right off the rear, makes it 3. FaZe will take those points.
And look, it has been a long time since we've seen Cellium be inconsistent. And I'm not saying that he has been that, but if there's any player that you want to try to take down and not let get the hot hand, Cellium's on top of that list as well. But right now, it is mid-map control, it is ring control FaZe with the perfect opening break and just a wall that is tough to get past. Mack, though, able to take down 2, but even still, it is a long way to go to either break through this hard point or work towards that P2 hill.
And P2 sitting in kitchen, top left-hand side of the screen, give or take. That's where Arcitys is now. 3 kills going the way of the Subliners, and now a handful of seconds from that last hard point will be theirs as well. Eyes on the minimap. FaZe set up in kitchen now, looking to hold on to this one. It's going to be HyDra making the slow flank. The rest of the team now coming through Laundry. And this could be a decent push out of the Subliners with Cellium already on the defense. Clay's up next. What's he going to do now against the wall of FaZe?
Oh, he's looking for Cellium. Cellium, a headshot again. I think he has, what, 5 or 6 kills? Almost all of them have been headshots. So his shot right now completely on point. FaZe in the hill. They've got the swarm. 2 players inside a window. An opportunity even for Arcitys to be the guy that's going on the full flank where he gets caught. The stack is in. The push is here from New York, and they get taken down one by one. Last man standing. Gone.
It's real early.
Your MVP.
Oh, he's feeling good already, Clay, getting a little bit of extra sauce there. Some additional bits of seasoning there in kitchen with 20 seconds remaining on this hard point. And I tell you what, your MVP's feeling himself so far. 7 and 3 overall, just brought down as now rotation across map. To the far side we go, over to the garage.
Oh, Arcitys is going to get taken down. New York, you see the spread that they had on the bottom side of the map just to make sure that they were not going to let any players through. But HyDra, your game fuel featured player right now, just patient. His teammates have pushed out far enough that he gets to hang out for a bit before FaZe get anywhere near this hill. It's a money hill, and this is time that New York desperately needs.
Our game fuel featured player trying to make his way forward. Asim finding himself a killing spree. He's now level at 6 and 6. That's 5 in a row. This could be an opportunity now for the New York Subliners to break in, and a perfect time to go for a listen in.
Hit it. He's Jim. There's a guy Jim 1 hill. Jim 1 hill.
Yo, he's one AC, one Jim.
AC one shot, AC one shot, Simp.
Good try.
AC one shot, Simp.
2 there. Black fan. We have
I'm
to
in
get
bedroom. I'm in bedroom. He's going open. One going open, guys.
There's a guy there's a guy blue fan, guys.
Open, big window.
Sky water.
Nice. We'll 60 this. Come on.
I'm gonna go back into time, okay?
I'm racking up the pillar. Yo, he's on me ring already. He's already black van.
One ring, one
Cellium's
ring.
black van.
Heard you? They can go down.
Nice.
there.
Smoke. There's
Oh, there's
20
20 AC,
AC.
20 AC.
I'll go in,
Yo,
I'll go in.
Yo, I'm going row. You guys play your setup.
Okay.
I'm sitting bottom right. I have all ring. I
Watch
have
my
all
money
ring.
rocks. Watch
I
my
will,
money
I'm
rocks.
getting in.
I
I'm
have all
getting in.
ring, guys.
Nothing there, yeah, I'm here.
One driveway, Arcitys. One,
Throw it.
2 ring, 2 ring, 1
Hitting
ult.
ring.
2 ring, 1 ult.
2 hit ring. 2 hit ring.
I spawned out.
Don't you have my
One
front?
down,
I'll do back,
one down,
back. I'll do back,
In the back, in the back, we get in the back. aBeZy.
Stuck.
Getting down, I'm getting
Hybrid
down.
kitchen, Paco. You can
Go,
go.
go. I'll go front, I'll go front.
You can play hybrid kitchen.
I went front, I went front.
I'm watching L.
Watch our front. Hold our front, guys.
Yeah.
They're setting it
L
up.
on me, dead.
There's 2 kitchen. 2 kitchen.
I kill one. Watch out.
One more.
One shot, Tony. One shot,
There's
Tony.
2 there. There's 2 there.
Shot. He's
There's
coming front. They're
two
coming
there,
front. 2
guys.
front on you.
Heard you.
Front on you after
aBeZy.
that.
Oh, aBeZy's front. I was serious.
I got one.
Alright, we're all good.
Go.
1 L, 1 L, 1 L.
We have to get kills here.
Yeah, we got it. You'll come kitchen with me?
He's L. He's L.
Kitchen dead. I got 2. I'm
L. One shot. L.
I'm
2
absolutely
L.
not.
Heard you. Are you guys gonna cut down the front or are you gonna hold?
I'm sitting in the back.
One L, one shot, L, one shot.
need to
Simp.
hold.
1 L, 2 in
Simp,
the
one
back.
shot L.
Alright, 1 L,
Simp,
1 2
shot
in the
L.
back.
I'm gonna go P1, okay? Get a hold.
The New York Subliners chance, I saw you shaking your head through that one, and again, it sounds like we're on the back foot most of the time there for the New York Subliners.
I mean, very much so. That was pretty sloppy in the gameplay and in the comms, right? Not a ton of small talk, a little bit of silences where they need to have some chatter, but not blocking the spawns on one rotation there in the garage hill. They just get insta-broken. They are struggling for the moment, maybe feeling the pressure that Simp is pouring on. I mean, right from the opening break, he was slaying out 13 kills already to his name in FaZe. Every single hard point, it's kills in the feed for them, control the hill, and now aBeZy's turn potentially to get the hot hand and go on some streaks.
The final hard point in this set, and there you go. A break finally comes through for the Subliners. Asim and Mack in the kill feed. Simp trying to battle back in the last few seconds there, but so far, so good. 30 seconds remaining. Ringside now covered by the Subliners. A couple of crucial kills, but the push will be coming through kitchen now as Atlanta FaZe, they wind up for the hit. Spread across map. They have themselves a 100-point lead right now. No sweat whatsoever.
And look, New York, they're going to have to settle in, get a little bit loose, and they're going to have to do this very quickly. The actual swarm for the old time, well, Simp's going to be there. Collection of 2 for him. He gets the double kill, control the scrap time, and right now, a lot of pressure on Clayster. He is the lone man over towards ring, and you see aBeZy. He's keeping all these players at bay. He gets dealt with, and Clay's winning his gunfights inside the hill. Right now, New York working on the comeback, down by 100 points, but they're starting to chip away.
This is the way it goes. You've got to find the time here. Mack. Whoa! What the hell from Simp? Pulls something special out of his hat. So does aBeZy. Follows it up immediately. Over to HyDra now. What have you got? And immediately pressured. 3 HP. His life flashes before his eyes. Immediately has to dip back. The rest of the team, though, reinforcements now in the form of Clayster. Finds himself 3. Gets himself another point. And just like that, the Subliners crack over that 100-point mark. Is trying to get themselves back into this one slowly but surely. And still, non-stop pressure from FaZe Charge. And Simp, every time we look at him, he's getting a 2-piece.
And the coordination is insane, too, because Cellium was buying buying him so much time. FaZe swarming all over the point. So hard to deal with, and even on that rotation, right now it's Cellium going to be dealing with 2. And it looks like New York taking their time, grouping together. Maybe this is the settle where they're making sure the coordination is going to be on point. Asim with the challenge. Can't find him just yet. He's got players coming around back, but again, it is just the scatter plot on the board. Meanwhile, Simp 21-9. He's the MVP for a very good reason.
I think we all did it. We all voted correctly, it looks like. We're back in the kitchen, and we're already finding the kills. HyDra with 2, aBeZy answers straight back with 2 of his own. Over 200 points now, the business end of the first hard point here in the series. And Mack, a nice kill though, incoming from behind. Simp once again, ooh, almost had 22, but still, 30 seconds chance. Kitchen now in the hands of the New York Subliners. Not out of this yet. They still have to fight through the FaZe line, find themselves in Garage because they could lose it on the next point.
And these kills are going to potentially start to be big, right? New York now starting that push out. If they are starting to get these kills, FaZe will start spawning out, but it looks like FaZe, you see Arcitys backing down, getting to a head glitch, doesn't want to fall early. A few more seconds before he can take these gunfights, but FaZe, they have spread the mat. They just have everything covered for this rotation. And FaZe, as long as they secure Garage, they will be good for the game. And that means for New York, the pressure is on. One break is exactly what they need, and they don't have a ton of time to get it.
Clinical stuff out of FaZe so far. You know, after staying alive in that situation for so long, aBeZy now taking care of the push forward. A tactical retreat. The remainder of FaZe now lined up on the inside of Garage, now soaking up the time. 30 for the win. HyDra trying to make his way forward. Our Game Fuel featured player is simply being drowned so far, and he's trying to find something in chance. It's starting to get a little bit dire. You have to make the break now. If you're the New York Subliners, you've got to go, and you've got to go now.
And it's the flood through weight room. All 3 players looking this way. Mack trying to get bullets in anyone he can find, but you're running out of time up top. Cellium's going to fall. The break is not in. FaZe take them all down. Clay, the last one standing, he can only find 2 in FaZe. Get it done in game number 1. And Simp, the MVP, letting him know, shooting bodies from the start, and he did not slow down for a moment.
22 and 13 for the young MVP, and man, what a start there from Atlanta FaZe. A powerful opener as Hardpoint continues to be a dominant game mode for them. And look, they broke the streak. What, it was like 5 they didn't manage to win there at Major 5. All of a sudden you find a big one right off the rip here. As playoffs, we're getting things going already. Atlanta FaZe up by 1. Quick look at the stats.
I mean, Cellium, maybe that was the player we should have been looking at right here. Simp at 1 point, 21-9. His KD is great, but Cellium right there with him, leads the lobby in damage and kills, and just an absurd performance to set the tone. That is the first time that New York with his roster has lost a game number 1 FaZe. They've made amends.
Well, there we go. Map 1 done. We're going to take a quick break. When we're back, more COD.
Legendary. I'm legendary. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I'm legendary. You know.
Mountain Dew Game Fuel is the official beverage of the CDL. Buy now at gamefuel.com/CDL.
Legendary. I'm legendary. Yeah, you know. I'm legendary.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Before we get into map 2, don't forget that we're celebrating the COG League Championship weekend with a giveaway. One winner will get a controller of choice featuring the winning team's design. You want to get it? You got to enter. Retweet this tweet, follow Scuff Gaming on Twitter, tag a friend. All of this ends on August 22nd at the end of the broadcast. Get involved, get yourself a sweet Scuff controller. Can't wait to see how that one goes. Again, I think we can enter that, if I'm not mistaken. We can get that out of the timeline, brother. Here we go, though. Miami, Search and Destroy. Excited to get into this map, too.
And this is a map that is incredibly punishing, right? Like, you can do so many things, right? You make one mistake, lose the round. Get the bomb down a little bit too late. Don't clear out driveway. Don't clear out whatever it's going to be. There's so many, like, corners that you can play. Miami, a tough one. That means the homework is going to be incredibly important. And, well, looking at how these guys did against Chicago, one of the standout players, at least in my mind, especially going into this map number 2, it's Asim, right? He had a couple respawns, maybe slacked off just a little bit. And then what does he do on the biggest stage against the biggest team in a game 5? Comes out, drops double digits. He is a player that he is making veteran plays on the map, despite this only being his 2nd year, really 3rd year with the pros.
Incredible stuff. Don't forget that ace in round 2 as well. New York Subliners now looking to bounce back. Miami, Search and Destroy could well be their map, but you know Atlanta FaZe, they've got the goods on this map as well, and I believe you brought it up before, mate. Neither team has a whole lot of reps on this one. This should be an interesting match nonetheless, but again, 3 hours of VOD review and homework from the New York Subliners. That is plenty. Will it be enough to topple FaZe today?
And also, I still do not know if it's going to happen. How many of these players, like your iLLeY or your Celliums, are going to have those little secret things in the back pocket? If there is any map where you find some wild line of sight that we have not seen before, it would be here on Miami, and it would be a guy like Cellium that would have it at his disposal. So maybe just an imaginary thing that we will potentially see. But this is the ultimate S&D kid map, right? So many options, so many corners, so many weird things that you can do. And obviously for FaZe, if you know they got Tupac as their coach, he has been putting the work in for Atlanta with their S&D and making sure that they stay at the top of their game. But it's the first look we have had for these guys for quite some time. And for what it's worth, we've talked so many times about New York, so good at so many different things. Holy dear God. Great on the offenses, in control, right? Great on the P3s, on your checkmate, hardpoint. Search and Destroy, they have a winning record against FaZe. Not a lot of teams can say that.
Not a lot of teams can say that. That one loss they had, though, in a grand finals. That one's going to sting. aBeZy starts things off as aBeZy does. And Simp, oh my word, his flash landed and it gave away a ton of information. That information, they went out, put to good work. aBeZy finds one more before being brought down 3v2. Oh, make that a 3v. Done! Okay.
And that is potentially the fastest round of Miami S&D we have seen. 0 time
Oh, what
wasted.
the hell? He's cheating.
The wall bangs.
He's really good.
Of course aBeZy is going to know.
Dude, that's like the level up of the First Blood King. He's like, I don't even need to see you anymore. I'm going to find you through the walls.
And from what we've seen from FaZe on this year, I mean, aBeZy on this map, he'll even pull out the Krig at times. If there is a First Blood potential, you know he's going to find a way to get it. And again, that is a lightning fast round number 1. We barely have enough time to finish our sentences before aBeZy has spotted the entire team ready to take him down. And you know for him, it is left stick forward. He is ready for these next gunfights.
I'd love to see how worn down that part of his controller is. Like just dust. As he goes forward once again. A little too eager though as HyDra bites him. Arcitys, oh no! He's good though, don't worry. That nade. It's going to take more than that to bring down the Phenom as Asim comes to the rescue. The bomb is now down in the middle of the map. Cellium, sneaky, good play, smart, heads up. Can they recover the bomb in a very precarious position?
I love the aggression from these two teams right now. Both of these guys flying at each other, looking for these fast flings. But as it stands, that bomb is down towards the middle of the map. And Cellium, speaking of speed, he is so quick to find it, but Clayster ready, there to take him down. And Simp, the MVP for the 1 versus 3, he is getting flanked. He does have the bomb, but he is in between the entire lobby. Clayster there to take him down. in a nice response. Again, you know, aBeZy just sprinting through the middle of the map. No fear in that man's heart. Well, they're playing it off angle, ready for it. And more importantly, Asim piercing through the flank as well, finding the kills. If there's one way to fight aggression, it's with some aggression of your own.
Deep breath. Back into we go. Only 2 rounds have passed. It's been quite a fast Miami so far. 1:21, I think we've passed in game so far. And here we go. Subliners back on attack. The last round was not very kind to them. And it looks like we're going back to B again. What have they learned? And more importantly, what the hell's aBeZy going to do?
Run forward. Him and Simp, Tiny Terrace up top once again. I mean, this is one of the biggest themes of, you know, Miami S&D, right? Just getting that top piano control on offense and defense. That seems to be what aBeZy has his heart set on, but they're flying out. Nice and quick. Simp ready, but can't take down 2. aBeZy now has to wait for his teammates to come back. He's got a little bit of help in Hotel, but either way, that bomb is planted. You got the kills going your way, and they don't even have the Doc's heady. Clayster. This is the most aggressive Miami S&D. They are flying at each other. All of a sudden, Cellium in a 1 versus 4, bomb down. Asim might give him a freebie, but I mean, frankly, this is a completely unwinnable round unless New York Subliners just hard troll it, but they know where he is. They got him trapped. They got him tagged, and they take him down.
Cellium certainly makes them work for it. He tries to walk away with that round as many points as possible, potentially start a streak. New York say no.
And I love it from both of these teams. Again, the hyper aggression on both sides. No time wasted, offense or defense. There is a play call, there is a plan, and they are sticking to it. I mean, when you got Clayster pushing through your spawn in the first 20 seconds of the round, that's when you know that they are ready to play. But maybe the switch up is here. That bomb leaning towards this ace site. Looking like Clayster potentially going to be the lone defender at A. Asim going to be watching the cross. And on the flip side, it's Simp, the roaming player for FaZe. Responsible for many things, and Clayster player has done his homework. He's taking the MajorManiak angle.
He's doing it again. He's just flying through mid-map. Oh, Clay's the kind of guy to check his corners left, right, and will it be good night? Bomb planted. Cellium hasn't seen him just yet, but oh, Clay. Oh, my God. Wait, Cell's like, hold on, he's here, Clay! He lives! But not for very long. Oh boy, that could have been something special.
He lives and he dies. That is, again, one of those calls, and I think Clay is trying to talk to his teammates of like, what just happened? How do we not get towards the middle of the map? And well, it was the roaming player. It was Simp ready for this entire thing, picking up 3 for the best play. And again, it is the aggression being the theme, because it's not just Clay wasting no time to go for those flanks, but how fast is that bomb getting planted? I think at this point, if I'm one of the ARs on the flip side, you just need to get some shots in, try to slow either of these players down, because all of these play calls, I mean, this is genuinely one of the faster S&Ds we've had this year, and it is on Miami.
Everything we thought we knew about Miami, we don't. All the training we've seen from these players, they've trained us more than anything as viewers to expect this to be a drawn-out conflict. Nope. It's a pure blitzkrieg now, and once again, New York Subliners leading the charge, flying across over the Cellium. May have seen a shadow in the distance there on the beach. Oh, did he catch Mack? Big tags. Nice first blood.
Nice pick as well, and keep in mind, this is a very fast flank coming through. You got aBeZy, he's past driveway. You can't plant this bomb, you need to hunt for these kills, and Asim can't find him. 2 players weak, but now it's HyDra's turn. Trying to look for him, then they dare to take one down, but still a 2 versus 3.
HyDra's trying to stay alive in the situation. He's run out of lethals and tacticals. It's nothing but that 74U to get the job done. He is surrounded. Has Clay in position there to watch that A-bomb site still.
And I think it might be up for Clayster to make a play. HyDra's waiting for a kill to fall in his lap, but Clayster trying to make moves. HyDra's going to fall. Clayster made his move, but he is going to fall. The coordination right now coming out of Atlanta FaZe, right? They're feeling that pressure. Cellium is calling all these players out. He finds the pick. He's already seen at least one of those 2 players on the cross. And as soon as he feeds his teammates that information, 2 players again, Simp and aBeZy working together, flying out past Piano, making sure that they are working together like clockwork. And that is what FaZe needs to bring to the table. That communication, that teamwork, that coordination so far on point. Keep in mind, Simp is on a 4.
Slow and steady now, approaching towards that B-bomb site. And once again, it's going to be your boy aBeZy leading the charge. No one does it quite like him. Cellium on the backside of the docks. Simp holding hands. Here they go. That perfect synergy as they fly across. Every corner now checked. Who will it be, though? Could be Mack in the back alleyway, gets the first bit of damage in, but across they go. HyDra now to try to find the pinch, and it's not a great sandwich so far. Nades are up and about. Mack, oh boy, the nades landed. aBeZy somehow finds himself too. It's now, oh boy, a 2v2.
That is very quick. All of a sudden, Asim in the 1 versus 2. The bomb not getting planted yet, and right now the player's not super coordinated. The freebie is there for Cellium. He's gonna fall 1 versus 1. The bomb is clear. And now it's about the information. They have not seen Arcitys this round, but Asim, he wants to make plays. He doesn't care about the power position. He's going for that rotation. And Arcitys, he's playing catch up.
Ring around the rosy here on Miami as they just exchange placement. No one knows anything right now. Asim, though, with eyes on the B-bomb site. Oh my god, the timing could be exceptional. The first shot's in, the damage is dealt, and the duel is now upon us. 10 seconds. You got to make the run. Here comes the kill. Oh! Oh, that is an unbelievable finish from Arcitys.
And there have been so many plays from this weekend in Search and Destroy where you were put in a nearly impossible situation and you were left with 1 play to make. Arcitys, he didn't have to think about it. There's 12 seconds left. You got a guy that can go out towards that Doc's Heady. Your only play call is to hunt him down. And Arcitys takes the gunny to him with the 74U. You cannot doubt this man.
Asim had a Krig, it looked so good, he had eyes on the doorway. Oh my god, that's some champs right there, baby. Arcitys now down sights, eyes on Clayster, as once again we find ourselves in a tough one. 4-2 to FaZe now as they're starting to walk away with this. Starting to walk into the line of sight of Cellium as well. aBeZy now coming onto the pinch, here comes that first blood. Oh, will he get it? No, Mack turns the tables. As Cellium now, it goes from a pinch to, quite frankly, an awkward situation. He's out on beach, he's now dead. HyDra advancing in towards the A-bomb site. Oh, and Arcitys once again finds a big one. Mack's up next. What's he got in this 2v2?
Oh, and Arcitys is gone too. He's gotten away. And now he might actually get his teammate Simp to be able to wrap back and help him out. Mack, well, he's looking for the kills, but Arcitys finding everything. He cannot be stopped. Again, the perfectness of the play. Get a couple kills, get out of dodge. There's the first, and there's the gunny for the second. Shout out to Simp, helping him out just a little bit for the final one, but the big plays, talk about chaining that together. You clutch up next round, feed your team all the information, and clutch the 2v3 that quickly. I mean, I don't even care about the 5 spree that he's on. Atlanta FaZe 1 round away, and they got the game. I mean, as aggressive as New York wanted to be in this game, I mean, they've just getting punished in these past few rounds. And
okay. You want to play aggressive? No one does it better than FaZe, but HyDra's got a thing or two to say about that. The 5 spree still for Arcitys, the 5 rounds now. This is map point for FaZe.
And keep in mind, he is the bomb as well, right? This is, you're getting close to some score streaks, get a kill, maybe get the bomb plant, get a little bit closer. But at the same time, if it's your main AR with that bomb in hand, 50 seconds is a lot of time to work with, but less so on Miami and Simp. He's going hunting.
Here he goes, up the stairs, tippy toes, finds one, 45 seconds on the clock, and he's just going to dip in and out. See you later, mate. I'll take one of your teammates down, make it a 3v3, and let you come to me. HyDra. Oh boy, tags, long range. Mack saying, shoot Clay. You find it, and HyDra now makes it that bit more interesting. B-bomb site all safe. The remaining 2 members of FaZe now over towards A. Oh boy, but they're making it a little dangerous. 25 on the clock now. They've got to go. Arcitys and Cellium looking to get the bomb down. But here comes HyDra sprinting through mid-map as loud as you like, but it may not matter. Here comes the engagement. FaZe, they answer back, and now it's a 1v1. Cell can't get it done, and the Subliners stay alive.
Mack, the saving grace just for a moment, and I don't quite know if Arcitys was able to get the artillery. I know we got the 6 kill. I don't believe it is going to be enough. And shout out to Mack, again, the savior in that situation. HyDra's just a couple shots at giving away the game just a little bit too soon. It could have gotten dicey, but New York is still alive, and obviously no artillery for Arcitys. New York, they are working from the 5-2 hole that they were in. They got to win 4 in a row. They've gotten the first. And on attack, they're going to be, but just look at the stack. I mean, again, just top piano control Simp. He'll do it by himself. He's got a little bit help down low. They control the piano. Arcitys finds the first one. Arcitys finds two. Win them the round, why don't you? Clayster and HyDra 2v4, the game on the line.
This is not the situation they wanted to be in. It was a 2-2 split, but they ran into the great Arcitys on that side of the beach. Okay, and now it's a 2v2. It's Cellium and aBeZy. It's Clayster and HyDra. And for now, it's an open bomb site, but you know FaZe are pushing it. That trophy system was still alive, and it's going to stop that. A bit of lethal as the bomb goes down. And 2v2, New York with the setup. It is now their map to lose.
And one of the most difficult setups in the game to break. You get over an AR over towards Doc's Heady. Good luck with these gunfights. Someone can be ready for it. aBeZy trying to bait it out. Now they know the game. Over towards Doc's Heady. You gotta kill Clay. And Cellium, he's looking for the kills.
Oh, there's the one. aBeZy does get it. The pressure on! And that is the search. With 20 seconds to spare, aBeZy's gonna get over there and defuse that bomb. And with that, it is 2-0 up in the series, Atlanta FaZe.
And Arcitys is the hero for the team. He even got the two-piece, the first bloods, and he followed it up just to start that final round. He got the clutch in the 1v1. He went into the next round, clutched again for the 2v3. Miami was the map pick that New York wanted to play, but FaZe certainly did their homework, and shout out Arcitys, 11-5, 2,300 damage to his name, and again, the clutches to boot. Phenomenal performance in the game number 2 from the man AR.
Unbelievable stuff as Arcitys, the warlord for FaZe, 11-5. Go back and watch that one, scrub through the YouTube channel right now, find it. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. Unbelievable scenes here as Atlanta FaZe go up 2-0. When we come back, it's Control, and look at these boys loving life.
I'm legendary. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I'm legendary. You know. You know. Let's go. Out of the dust. A legend is born.
The Call of Duty League is presented by Seany, the official eyewear for the CDL. Armor your eyes with Seany Blocks blue light protection glasses by visiting seany.com/gaming. Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Legendary. I'm legendary. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I'm legendary. You know. You know. Let's go. Out of the dust.
Legendary indeed, as we now roll into map number 3 here as playoffs continue. Coaches on stage imparting their words of wisdom onto our brave warriors before they once again do battle. We're going to Control, we're going to Garrison, and so far, chance things are looking fantastic for FaZe.
I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, if one of the first things we see from Simp is he kills Clay once and spends a good couple clips shooting his body just to let him know, just to set that tone, that's the kind of energy that the MVP is coming with. And you got to say, on the flip side for New York, there has not been a response, but the overall, I mean, this is an SMG. It is bonkers how good Simp and aBeZy have been, that they have, like, inflated the stats, like, just to put such a massive disparity between the SMGs and ARs. They bumped the numbers up themselves, but across the board, top 10 in every single category. Most importantly, you see that number one in Control, not just for Sims KD, but for everything that FaZe has done. I mean, look, you can make an argument that best hardpoint team in the game, best search and destroy team in the game, but there's a couple teams that you could say maybe Toronto for the search, for example. When it comes to Control, there is no other. This is their bread and butter. This is where they have truly set themselves apart, and enough so that they can giggle, because we're going into a Garrison Control. They've played against New York 3 times on this map. They've 3-0'd them twice. They've beaten them all 3 times. They have just smacked teams around on this map, an 18-4 record overall. I mean, for Atlanta FaZe, this situation, this map, this moment does not get better than this. Especially when you got Arcitys blushing, Simp having the time of his life, aBeZy still providing with the first blood, and Cellium, meanwhile, I mean, he might be going for the record of most headshots in a single game. Man was putting in some serious work.
Well, he's the major results so far. For a quick sort of look back over the year. In Major 1, it was an explosive start. Major 2, of course, the rise of Toronto. 3 and 4, you know what happened there. Major 5, though, that's 7th place for both teams. Atlanta certainly looking to get the job done this week.
And keep in mind, right, for that Major 3, you saw the first place for Atlanta, the second place for New York. It was FaZe that took them down. It's been mentioned a few times, right? The winning record with this roster that New York has against FaZe. That one loss just happened to be when it matters the most in the finals. And, well, not a lot matters more than here at Champs in the winner's bracket, where I don't know if you've seen the rest of the bracket, Miles, and obviously a devastating place to be. Not fun for any team at this point when you got guys like the likes of Toronto and OpTic down in the mix with Røkkr waiting in the wings. You got to stay on top in this tournament. It is not a fun place to have to make a run in just, again, 18-4. That is almost painful to look at if you're a New York fan.
Yeah, we've joked about it for a couple of majors now, where you look at the series, you see their middle game mode, you see Control. It's almost a freebie for Atlanta FaZe. You almost put them up by default 1-0 in the series because they are so dominant at the game mode. For now, for the New York Subliners, you have to do the unthinkable. You have to ascend, transcend even. Got to be better than you've ever been before, just to push this series to a map number 4. But here we go. Garrison Control. It's first to 3. Let's get it.
And already, you just got aBeZy. 0 time wasted. Goes through the underground portion of the map, and just like that, out like a ghost in the night, he's back towards his teammates. And already, if you're New York, you got to sit here and look around for aBeZy, worried about a big in your spawn. But there he is for his second kill. You get Simp up top, and this is why they are so good on Garrison Control. They get that map control right from the get-go. They can play at whatever pace they need to, but aBeZy does get caught. Cellium, the next player in line.
Cell playing it slow, playing it steady, keeping it all together. The clock keeps ticking away, and it's Atlanta FaZe who want that to run down to 0. 40 remaining now. Cell still holding the middle of the map. There are players everywhere as the New York Subliners swarm forwards, looking to get a player onto B. Stop the clock, 33 seconds. The capture begins.
And Clayster, off respawn, goes on a 5 spree. So you talk about a man that really, honestly, at this point, needs to step up for his team. It's got to be Clayster, right? The veteran, to try to get some momentum going. But while he's on a 5, he gets caught. No streaks, no love, and now no more map control. Simp does get taken down, but aBeZy right there with him for the trades. Communication and coordination, if you have that from FaZe, they look simply unstoppable. And right now, 16 seconds left on the clock. New York, this is the desperation effort. Get to this point, get the trophies down, and just try to stay alive.
Yep, try to stay alive, contest in. Mack's got to win these fights. Have to watch the player in the vents as well. That's on HyDra. Wins the fight. Asim wins one on the front. Mack gets his as well. The contest continues, and Cellium, in and out he goes, finding one. trying to keep the play alive. 13.5 on the clock. Second segment in progress, and we're looking at capturing B.
I mean, hell, 13 seconds left on the clock, but now they find a way. Asim's broken out over towards A. You're going to be able to capture B, and now just look at the life lead. 6 that they have in the advantage. They got the response they wanted. Asim does get taken down, but even HyDra, the next SMG, to be annoying. He drags at least one down with them. And right now, it is about the TDM for New York. Only 8 lives remain. That is 2 waves of kills. Every single death for FaZe can be dire.
Team deathmatch now, friends. We're just going to slay them out. 7 left of Atlanta. 11 lives left now for the Subliners. Better make it 10 as Arcitys gets his first kill of the round. 45 seconds remaining. We should see it come down to kills, but those kills are getting closer and closer. 7 to 9 now. Right there, smack bang in the center of the screen. Watch those numbers dwindle as aBeZy, HyDra, they go toe-to-toe once again. Out we go! Arcitys, he eats the pair alive. And now it's 6-6.
7-life lead just disappears before your eyes. Now that time just draining away from the clock. Only 24 seconds, and now you've lost map control. You've lost power positions, and Clay looking for a couple pop shots, but Arcitys with a gun like this, he hunts him down and drops him. The life lead falls apart before our eyes, and even the flanks coming through. You got battles and breaks, everything. Arcitys, you talk about Clayster off spawn, he goes on a 5. Arcitys does the exact same thing. Slow start from him, goes on a 6 spree, and completely shuts it down.
Man, he is not playing around today. Arcitys came to eviscerate players. He's going to end careers at this tournament. He is on one right now. You play that best play, and that's all good and well, but so far, I mean, 6 and 7 for Arcitys, 7 and 5 there from Simp. I mean, it's just been non-stop action so far. Atlanta FaZe pull away that first round.
And again, that is a 6-life lead. I think FaZe had 8 left on the clock with 1 minute and 13 seconds, and then every single kill at that point, Atlanta just collecting them. Nice round on defense. Admittedly, as Garrison, that is the way it goes. Atlanta now back on the attack, looking to see what happens off the opening break. Standard stuff so far. Just waiting to find some of these kills as Simp. Well, he reads the situation, gets the call out, goes hunting, finds at least one, but the trades are there. You got the Tiny Terrors working together so well today on Friday.
Certainly Friday, and they're looking this dangerous. Arcitys once again picking up 2s all over the place. Quick contest there. Oh, Cellium cut down by those 2 attacking players there from the New York Subliners, looking to take control of mid-map. No easy feat right now, as again, the pressure from Simp in mid. HyDra's now going to try to go toe-to-toe with the regular season MVP. Lands it, gets another. Cell from the top rope finally puts him down.
And aBeZy, by the way, by himself. That's a 5 spree for him. It can't make it 6. Clay shuts him down just by a bullet, but even still, you're going to the harder zone. You're towards A, and Cellium with the ego that he has. He's looking for some more kills. It is going to be the harder point captured first, unless Asim can find his way out. The sides are in, but that is a kill funnel. A secured, and now you get 2 minutes, the sweet spot to capture B. This is the best case scenario. This is FaZe at their very best.
FaZe with the switch up. A zone being the harder point to capture here on the map. Over to B now. They've got themselves a lot of map control. Cellium 10 and 8, currently on a 2 spree. Looking to cut those players out from spawn. What can Mack find? Currently just information. Now he's going to find an early grave. Tough scenes right now as the players from the Subliners start to drop, and on to B we go. 1 minute 31 on the clock, and ample life count to work with, a 21 to 15.
Maybe a couple more fall. New York looking for any sort of stabilization. They got to find these kills, and hey, there's a big 2 from Mack. An unfortunate team kill, but at least you've cleared out the area. aBeZy trying to make the hero play, and hey, he's going to find it. Explosives the whole way around. You still have players from New York in the middle of the map, but again, it's just about the time. 1 minute and 15 is so much to work with to capture B. FaZe pouring the pressure on.
Still maintaining that pressure. Subliners need to now buy some space. Get some air back in the lungs, because they are being winded by the constant pressure, the onslaught now from Atlanta FaZe. 16 to 11 in the life count. FaZe leading this one. Arcitys pushing it forward. Simp, sweet Jesus, what are these kills? Forward they go, kill after kill, slide, shot punch, you name it, headshots. They're doing it all. 2 spree right now for Arcitys, and he's capturing B all alone.
Oh, he's just stopping the clock, right? You can honestly just start winning this on lives. There's another 3 in the feed. Mack, last man standing, and there he goes. Arcitys drops him, takes him down. B point secured, and the control game still perfection coming out of Atlanta. how bad of a situation it has got to be down 0-2 in the series. And this is the moment, by the way, aBeZy one shot. He's making the best play, opening up the A point. And it takes plays like that to make it happen. He got 2 more even before that best play started. Running the show. They simply, at this point, can do whatever they want. FaZe can do no wrong. And they are just completely setting themselves up for the hot 3-0. You talk about a response from your Major 5 performance. Well, you asked, they deliver.
17-9 for aBeZy, 12-9 for Simp at this point in time. It seems to be a kill race between the two of them. One final round is all they need. Defending will be Atlanta FaZe. And as I said about the New York Subliners, they need to literally transcend themselves. The best performance they've had in the game mode. They need it now. There's the defense from FaZe. Man alive, it is just so strong. New York starting to fall apart at the seams. You saw the discourse there, you know, in between rounds. It is not an easy scene to be in, and the Subliners are really getting strangled so far.
I don't even know where you go. This is what Arcitys loves to do. Give him a power position, let him hang out. You got Cellium covering the other side of the map. It is tough just to work yourself out of this spawn to the point where Cellium with the AR is going on flanks. You're getting flanked and shot in the back by him. It is just dire. At least he gets taken down, but look at the map control. It's taken all of this. There's 30 seconds left on the clock just to get to that 50-yard line. You get top green control, but I'm just looking at that time ticking down, 25 seconds. You got to make something happen. You got to pull off something magical.
Oh, you got to go, man. And Arcitys just walking forward, trying to find these kills. At this point in time, confidence supreme for Atlanta FaZe. Still looking to stop that first segment. Here comes the contest. Simp sliding in and out. First segment gone. Simp holding the line. Can Mack find the kill? The answer will be hell no. Simp flies forward, gets it. Teamwork once again from FaZe prevailing. And chance there is 20 seconds, and this is a 3-0.
Last ditch effort, get a body on the point, trying to make something happen. Someone right now was on a 5 spree, but I think he got taken down immediately. HyDra's gonna fall as well, like dominoes, dropping one by one. And where's the teamwork, the coordination? They can't buy a trade with the money in their pockets. And FaZe, again, they can do whatever they want, man. The bounce back from Major 5 is in. The hot 3-0 is in. Atlanta FaZe, a lot of teams might have been hoping that they wouldn't show up, but they have shown up in the best way possible. An incredibly quick series. And right from the jump, man, Simp shooting bodies as fast as he was. They had their foot on the gas, driving 60 the whole way through.
Things certainly starting to heat up here in the Galen Center as FaZe display the usual dominance we'd expect from them. They start their run here at Champs the same way they started their look on this game here in Cold War. Absolutely disgusting. 3-0 over the New York Subliners. And those stats, they are not going to be pretty. 23-12 for aBeZy. Sim slowed down quite a little bit there, man, at 14-13, but nonetheless, what a performance from Atlanta FaZe.
I mean, just a showcase, right? Even with the game plan, you knew New York was going to pick Miami. The amount of prep work they probably did to get ready to go on that map in FaZe, it took them, what, maybe 4 rounds to analyze the situation and just started dominating. After that, you got the clutches when you need, you got the dominating performances when you need, and again, that is a scary team to watch 3-0. That is a wake-up call again for anyone that thought they would struggle after Major 5. There's your answer.
They didn't struggle one bit. Now it's time to hear from the Warlord himself. Arcitys is on stage with Jess. Jess, what a monster performance he had. What's he got to say?
Thank you so much, Miles. Yes, that's right. We are on stage with Arcitys for your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. What a performance your team had. What a performance you had. Can you tell us what you were thinking when you took down Asim in that 1v1 during that S&D?
I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You got shit on, so I don't know.
You'll get in trouble, I won't. So you guys struggled a little bit during Major 5. What did you learn about yourselves?
That everyone has weaknesses. We got exposed that Major, and I'm mad that was my brother that did it, but screw it. I don't know. That's how we're supposed to look, and that's how we are looking right now, so hopefully we can keep it.
Well, at the beginning of the day, you know, we named Simp MVP, and we asked him if you guys are going to take home the title. He did not hesitate to say yes. What do you think?
I mean, I got 3 MVPs right next to me, so hopefully.
All right, well, thank you so much. Once again, let's give a round of applause for Arcitys and your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Back on over to the casters.
Arcitys truly a class act in and out of game, and look, he ain't wrong. That was how that round went. I mean, we'll see that in just a few moments. But Chance, all the haters, all the doubt, anyone who questioned Atlanta FaZe coming into this tournament, I'm pretty sure you got your answer there.
I mean, I don't even know how many haters there were, to be completely honest with you. That is almost the expectation from these guys at this point, to be able to put performances together like that. And Arcitys, a major factor to the success of this team. Again, that's what he's there for, right? The leadership. When you need the clutches, he can deliver. Arcitys is a machine on the map.
Scott, play the game. It is, of course, going to be that infamous round that Arcitys won there, that 1v1 against Asim, a seemingly unclutchable situation to be in. Chance gets it done.
And again, it's really just about the time that he's going to end up with on the clock, right? You had that ring around the rosy game, but by the time he gets the information on the scene, well, he's going to be over towards the best heady in the game. You got to clear out Docs, and he's only got 12 seconds left when he gets the information, and he knows, what am I going to do? Try to plant the bomb, play it scared? No, he sprints at him with the 74U, and well, he said it better than I could, but he just guns him. And again, that is the momentum swing. He carried that to the next round, and that is the momentum shift in that game that they made the best use of. They never slowed down.
A disgusting display is Atlanta FaZe 3-0 the Subliners. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more COD goodies for you, friends. Don't go anywhere.
I'm legendary. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I'm legendary. You know. Let's go! Out of the dust, a legend is born. Born for the game, born for the throne. Up from the ground, and out of the gates. I am the storm, I am the thunder, I am the eye of the hurricane.
Hello and welcome back. Maven, Merc, and Nameless here to break down the match we just watched. It was a quick one. I've got some questions for you, and I want to hear your opinion, well, from both of you. Nameless, for you first. Do you feel like with FaZe, the fact they lost, like, what, 3 out of 4 coming into this, were they a bit underrated kind of coming into this weekend for some?
I mean, yeah, right? But for kind of a good reason, they did not have a good month of July, and then right there, it just proves like they can just turn it around in a matter of seconds, right? Like they had a week to go, and they look like a brand new team. They dominated that series, all above a 1.1, just flying the entire time.
And Joe, maybe not for you, but like you didn't get that vibe at all. Like
I think people were just hoping that. I think that was about it, right? I mean, I think they're just hoping that they stayed that week, but I mean, that is just a statement, right? A 3-0 right out of the gates. They haven't even played a match, so to play that well, I mean, just against a very solid NYSL team right from the get-go, that was, hey, we're still here.
Yeah, it was like Empire Røkkr. Like, it was just dominant. There was no question who the better team was throughout the course of that. Now, Ant, we're going to go through some of the plays, some of the big moments from, I think we're going to talk about the search and destroy a little bit and what stood out for you, but FaZe looked good.
Yeah, they did look good in Search and Destroy, and that's one thing that, you know, we're looking at them throughout this tournament. They're going to have to be on point with, as there's some opponents that have given them trouble in Search and Destroy in the past. But yeah, I mean, during this round, you see they do that. They try to get a blind push here over towards B. Doesn't work out, but they're not afraid, so they decide to push through it. It's always Simp and aBeZy who are together, and Cellium and Arcitys, they just do a fantastic job of slowing down the push. Cellium's able to pick up a kill on Mack, and this is what FaZe does that's so great. Every time they figure out where the team's pushing, they're able to trap them, get those kills that they need to in the one-on-one gunfights because they're extremely talented, and it goes in their favor.
Well, before we talk about maybe NYSL a little bit, Joe, for you, what was the most impressive thing you saw at a FaZe?
I think that Search and Destroy, even just a round like that, it's their ability to stay alive. And I mean, you look at Raid Hardpoint, maybe, you know, we still had map 4 Garrison, which is probably their go-to. So the fact that they're winning teams Hardpoint picks, I think is huge for them. That's where they wanted to show a lot of that improvement. But in the S&D, that's where they know they can be the best team in the world.
Well, and I mean, over that little slide they had at the last major, I mean, when you think about it, that's really the only time they were vulnerable. Outside of that, they looked like the best team in the league throughout the course of it. I know it's one match, but they seem to be fixing some of the mistakes you saw over the course of that stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Hardpoint for me is what I was looking at going into this one. How good were they going to be in that mode? And, you know, New York's a team that's given them a lot of problems in Hardpoint in the past. And I know that this isn't that New York that was on that stride, but still, they made good work of them on that map. And Simp, especially the MVP, coming in, showing us that type of performance. You got to expect them to continue it throughout.
Well, now, Joe, I want to talk a little bit about NYSL. You know, you get a big win yesterday. It's a hyped-up one. I saw Clay afterwards, and he was like, yeah, it's just, you know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, told you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they get that win, but then you come and getting smoked. What can you learn from that?
I mean, they just got to forget about it. You play a match later on against Minnesota Røkkr. That is the goal now. Try to prep for that. Hopefully this goes 5 games so you can get a little bit of extra VOD reviewing if you're the coaching staff. But it's just, you know what? We got smoked by Atlanta FaZe. Everyone in the league can say that at some point. It is what it is. We're still in the tournament. That's the goal.
Okay, well, before we start to talk about our next match, and quickly, I want to talk about the winners bracket final. It's now set up for FaZe and Empire. Inaugural season of the CDL last year. What was our winners bracket final?
It was FaZe and Empire. And Empire knocked FaZe down to losers bracket in a 3-2 win. And FaZe came back, played them in the finals, and what happened? Empire dominated them. Is history repeating itself? I don't know, but it's set up for that.
It's pretty cool though, right, Joe? It's like all the team changes from 5v5 to 4v4. But here we are.
No, I think it just, you got to give credit to the organizations. Obviously, all the talent on Atlanta FaZe, they kind of built their dynasty team, right? They know that they knew what they were doing, getting Arcitys on the roster, just making sure they had their pivotal pieces. But on the Empire side, the year they had to be back in that position, I think Stro said if they win that one, they'll be in 6 of 9 World Championship finals.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I saw that HyDra tweet. Yeah. I was like, that is a very impressive stat
yes,
line.
It is.
We're in one of those.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. You made that crazy run. I don't know how you did it, but you did it.
Finals, though.
You were so good in search that weekend.
Yep, I was.
You were frying.
It was good times. You know, I miss those days. I would
now
get
we're on the
smoked
desk
by these guys, though.
Yeah, right. All right, well, let's start to talk forward a little bit. We're going to begin to discuss OpTic versus Ultra. Now, before we get into it, the main thing I do want to look at, Scump was in an interview yesterday. He was asked who he would rather face. Let's take a look.
So tomorrow you're going to face the loser of Ultra versus Empire. Is there a team that you think that you match up better against?
I mean, probably Empire, because Ultra has our number. But
we didn't need the latter part of that. You got the point in the beginning. Would rather face Empire because Ultra, Ant, talk to me about that matchup. It has been a very tough one for them.
It's a nightmare. I wrote down some numbers here. I mean, Ultra's 4-0 against them with Insight, 5-1 in S&D against them, 3-1 in Control, and then even in the hardpoint, it's split at 4-4. So OpTic has not been able to do much against Ultra whatsoever throughout the season.
I think that's a big thing. When you talk about those stats, 4-4 in hardpoint, that has to be better for OpTic if they want to move on. And then 3-1 in Control. I think I saw the maps. I think you're going to have that raid control. That's where they've been, you know, so good throughout the year. And that's great. That's great for them. But the hard point here has to be better because Search and Destroy, with what we saw yesterday, it's tough to believe if it goes 5 that they'll do it.
Do you think it helps, I don't know, OpTic at all that Ultra are coming off a recent loss, like a tough Game 5 battle, Ant?
Well, yeah. I mean, one, Ultra's coming off of a loss. Not only that, I mean, what we saw at the very last major was not great for Ultra as well. And then Ultra and Hardpoint not looking good. And that is where OpTic can be very good going into this one. So I think OpTic is going to have confidence. You know, obviously they've had some series where they could have beat Ultra. At the very end, Game 5, Round 11, I always go back to it because they had the opportunity to win it there, so it's possible.
Okay, well, Joe, if you had to pick one player on OpTic, I know it is a group effort, but who has got to step it up in this particular matchup?
Envoy for me. I don't think you saw the best Envoy yesterday. I believe that when the Submachine Guns of Toronto Ultra are struggling, we just saw it earlier. Scump is playing COD champ Scump, right? Yeah. He's got to keep that level up, but that duo can take over this series. I'm looking at the subs.
All right, let's get to the picks. We know Ultra have dominated it. This matchup they have crushed, but OpTic or Ultra, who you picking?
I didn't like what I saw at Ultra earlier today, especially in the hardpoint. I am going to go with OpTic 3-1. I think that, you know, it's just been too many times they've lost by now. They're going to end up winning this one. They look good. I'm excited to watch.
You just wanted the crowd to cheer for you, didn't you?
No, I seriously do think.
I know.
Ultra has looked weak.
It's just, it's hard to pick them with how this has gone. Joe, for you.
Well, I went OpTic 3-2. I just think sooner or later it has to happen. 4 matches in a row. They have to learn from every single one, correct? So there's a little bit that you can learn from. The big thing for me is communication and search and destroy. How quick are they to react off one another? Yesterday, too many mistakes. Make sure they are together and don't allow those mistakes to come through. It's got to happen, right? I mean, just that's sooner or later, it's got to happen.
It's got to. I mean, it's always been said in sports, esports, it's tough to beat a team and dominate them all year. That is what Ultra has done to this point, is now when OpTic is going to break through. But that's going to do it for us on the desk. We've got a big matchup coming. We've got Ultra, we've got OpTic,
Legendary.
Lando and Standy to take you through the action. We'll be back after this quick break.
You know, I'm legendary. You know, let's go. Out of the dust, a legend is born.
There is a status reserved for a select few throughout history. for those remembered for more than just a name. It's a title even kings die in vain for.
Out of the dust, a legend is born. Born for the game, born for the throne.
Time gives us all one simple choice. You can be forgotten or become immortal.
You think he's done now? You think he's gonna stop here? You think you can stop aBeZy? Oh my God!
Let's go!
You have to get through Skies! His name is Caesar Skies Bueno, and he chose to invest in his game.
I'm legendary.
CleanX has just been straight up the best player in the world. Why has no one killed him?
To be remembered is not enough, because anything less than legendary is failure.
Accuracy, though, they line up! They line up for accuracy and he wins it! Are you kidding? Accuracy with dice!
I'm taking the crown. That's why I came. I was born ready. I'm legendary.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to CDL Playoffs. It is day number 2, and it's time for our elimination match here at the Galen Center. It has been so amazing to be with you all, and we cannot wait to guide you through our next match. It's Lando, it's Standy, and boy, do we have an excellent matchup ready for you. Stud, it's OpTic, it's Ultra. We've been here before. The desk just broke it down. We've seen this match so many times previously. How do you expect this one to go?
I don't know, man. So far, Toronto, they've had their number the entire year, man. Ever since picking up Insight, they're 4-0. They win a majority of this series 3-2. Well, at least they split them. 3-2 and twice. Right. And then 3-1 in the other 2. But I just feel like if OpTic want to have a chance at winning this tournament, this is a hurdle that they have to get over.
Yeah, this has been, what, the hurdle, the one plague for them they have yet to overcome. Yeah. We talk, so often about how this OpTic team, they have potential to win majors. Well, this has been the team that has been in front of them every single time. Well, you've heard a little bit from us. Now it's time to send it to the stage. It is Golden Boy to introduce us to our teams.
All right, everyone, it's elimination match time. Ho, ho, ho. And we got ourselves a great matchup lined up for you guys. But you know what, folks? I don't want to waste any time. You know how I roll, so let's go ahead and bring out your first team representing the Windy City. It's OpTic Chicago.
Mighty Crimsix going in.
Normal, looking fantastic.
Envoy slaying his way through Scump from up high, the king.
I'm out here doing what they thinking is irrational.
Really starting to run that score, Robin.
I'm gonna make it bad, take it back, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, OpTic game in a bag.
Chicago are a force to be reckoned with.
And welcome back to the stage, OpTic Chicago! It's last chance saloon for OpTic as they are going up against what many could claim to be the boogeymen of OpTic Chicago with Toronto Ultra. This team has a lot on their shoulders, but they have broad shoulders indeed, because you got Scump leading the charge, the king, looking to lead this team to victory. Formal, a legend in multiple FPS titles, but has cemented a legacy here in professional Call of Duty. And let's not forget about Envoy and Dashy. They're looking to bring it here today against a squad that has been a thorn in their side all season long. But now it's time to bring out their opponents. We saw them fall just a little while ago. Can they bring it back? It's, of course, the Toronto Ultra.
Me, the cheap friends these days. I don't put my trust in no but the teammates. Boogle no taking no recess, no beaches. The THC till we make it proper. Kim in this should be the best if he
10 seconds left, nades are up and about. Bounce gets the kill, but it has Sammy, he's able to play his life. From Toronto, back in a row. Why is CleanX still alive? Why has no one
rest and feed the rest. Cause need a little bit of knowledge.
Making their way to the stage, the Toronto Ultra. Ultra receiving a hero's welcome from this very, very lopsided OpTic fan base here, but the Ultra have looked clean against this squad, and despite the loss, despite some of the setbacks, I think it's safe to say that the Toronto Ultra are poised to try and move forward in this competition. They finished in the top 3 in 4 out of 5 majors. This is a squad not to be reckoned with. But for this EU roster of Vance, Cammy, CleanX, and Insight, one has to wonder, could they be going home here today? But now it's time to start your 3rd match of the day. You got OpTic, you got Ultra. Let's get it on and send it over to your casters, Lando and Study.
Thank you so much, Golden Boy. A wonderful introduction and a great storyline now set up for this match that now sits before us. As we mentioned, an elimination game. Loser, you're sitting home top 6. Winner does advance in the elimination bracket to at least see another day. But, oh boy, we got to talk about what it takes to get this job done, and we're taking a look at our game fuel keys to victory. Stud, walk me through Toronto.
Yeah, so you've had their number the entire season so far, especially in Search and Destroy. They are dominating them 6-1, and this is something that Chicago, so far throughout playoffs, this is their struggling point. They have to get better at Search and Destroy, and then also, the tissue has been, he needs to be an issue. CleanX in that series versus Dallas didn't really have a hot one. 0.65, -30 with the kill department is just not acceptable. You need him to step up, especially as that main aggressive SMG. And then Hardpoint is where Ultra can really rain on OpTic's parade. They're 4-6 versus Chicago, and they didn't really look good versus the Empire, dropping both of them there. So they really need to step up in their Hardpoint early into this one.
Yeah, oftentimes you ask yourself, you know, how does a team really begin to rebound? Just hours ago, off of that Game 5 Round 11 loss that they suffered to the Empire. We'll see how they look to try to change things up coming into this match. But now, our game fuel keys to victory here for OpTic Chicago and playoffs this year. 0-3 Search and Destroy record up to this point. The only way that they improve in that mode is using more teamwork. You heard Joe mention that on the desk constantly. Communication is so important in that mode for this team. Also, Scump needs to continue to be the man on the mission. The King has reclaimed his throne, if he didn't already previously have it. A 1.28 yesterday, and we look at him oftentimes to be the player for this roster, and so far here at playoffs he has been so dominant. A 1.28 KD stud. It feels like we've kind of wound back the clock a little bit.
Yeah, man, like the guy's just Mr. Consistent, especially Scump champs. Like, this is what he lives for. The guy's trying to go out there and get his 2nd ring. He's the king for a reason. So far, he's leading the troops in the right direction.
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, our maps and modes for this series: Checkmate Hardpoint, Moscow S&D, Raid Control, Raid Hardpoint, and if it comes down to it, all the way to a Game 5, it would be an Express Search and Destroy. We circle that one. We put some hearts around it. We hope that we can get there. Also, map vetoes listed below. So then we take a look at this first map, Checkmate Hardpoint. We've seen this one, a fair amount of times between these two.
Yeah, we definitely have. I'm pretty sure every single series that they've played has had a Checkmate Hardpoint in it. So this is going to be a big point because, at least in the opening Hardpoints, this is where OpTic see a lot of shine. They are 4-1 versus the Toronto Ultra team. They're usually getting off to a good start, but if they do not bounce back in that Search and Destroy, that's when you let Ultra back into this series.
Yeah, that's a great call. It's been OpTic, playing well off the start, which is what you want to see them do, but it's about that consistency, getting into the Search and Destroys, getting into the controls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is elimination match. Let's make some noise. There we go.
There we go.
All of us incredibly interested to see who will progress and who is headed home in top 6. As we mentioned, elimination game. And we start things off on Checkmate Hardpoint, as you mentioned, Stud. Pretty much a classic match between these two. Battled numerous times, and actually the first time they faced off, which it was in the very, very beginning of the year, it was OpTic who started off like 200-7. A much different story now all these months later. But you hear the crowd already in Chicago's favor. One of the keys to victory, mentioning how do they feed off of that energy. And we're about to find out. Toward the top plane we go, and not the best way to start off a team kill.
Definitely not the best way to start off, so that's going to be an early 3, make it 4 dead. You have 3 players from OpTic already spawning all the way at P5. It's all going to be on Envoy. Try to make a play happen. He's able to find one. taking his time, and unfortunately, he's going to lose that gunfight. So right off the rip, Ultra able to get into this P1 hardpoint and immediately flip these spawns. This is not the best case scenario right now for OpTic.
Yeah, that is not the best case. That is the worst case scenario to possibly be in if you are an OpTic fan, considering, hey, we got preferred spawns. We're trying to fight, contest for P1, and it's been exactly the opposite. Spawns flip now at the hands of Ultra. 29 uncontested points so far for the boys in purple. But now the race begins. 10 seconds left at P1, but the focus is going to be now at our money hill toward yellow crates. Formal looking to try to make his way up toward this far bottom side of the map, but he gets met with the nade from Vance.
Now the spawns are coming in. Toronto still have control, but Envoy, he's able to sneak through and get one. Scump also finds a second, so that's going to be enough pressure to spawn a couple players from Ultra all the way across the map. And just when we thought Ultra had control, OpTic break in, and now they're going to be set up.
Yeah, that doesn't happen all that often considering how P1 goes, but there you have it. OpTic break right back on in and put themselves where you wanted to see them at the very start. Scump, the player to look out for, unfortunately does drop at the hands of Vance, but it's Dashy to pick up right where he left off. As we said, Stud, Scump has been so great so far throughout this weekend. We look to see him continue to put on performance like that, but you cannot forget a guy like Bruce. 5-2 on the 5 spree for the time, and streaks very well. Could be in his future. That's now going to be 6, one more. And that's going to be huge for Chicago if they're able to earn it. You want to play around these. You've got the last 10 seconds wrapped up. Takes down Cammy, and that's the artillery. One more away from the cruise, and how great could that be? Last one right in front of him. And that's going to be 8 in a row. Can he make it 9? Having somewhat of information in terms of where CleanX is, but great coordination, gets taken down, but you're happy with that. You got both streaks.
Definitely are happy with that, even though it is checkmate. Streaks aren't really going to be useful, but just starting off hot for Dashy, you can just tell he's such a young player. Getting that early momentum underneath his belt is going to be great, and that's going to be 3 down. Toronto now spawning out towards back P2. OpTic are on point right now. They consistently are just flipping the spawns when needed, and with 30 seconds remaining on this P3 hard point, they can set up properly for that P4.
Yep, sitting pretty right now. A Scump shuts down CleanX toward the top side of the plane. In moments like these, you always wonder, what do the comms sound like with this roster? They've got the crowd behind them. How do they react? Let's go to a listen now with OpTic Chicago.
This was playing to me. I don't know where he went.
Help right. I'll help hold. Yo, you see P5, P5.
Yo, two turning. I know. One more ring. Cammy.
Nothing new.
Nice, 2.
Inside P5 and 1 top plane, right?
Yo, he stopped playing CleanX.
Yo, he's top plane.
Top plane at P5.
Still P5. Spawn quick, guys.
Yo, we spun it. Yeah, he's backward. I'm one shot. I need help, Bruce.
Hit him in point, Matt. Hit him in point.
Bruce, I need help here.
Top plane. Inside, watch out. One bullet. Top plane. Their side, absolute Vance.
That's dead.
Vance is at midpoint.
Yeah,
you can cruise it, yeah.
Cruising.
Put it our side. Put it our side.
I don't see my wing.
Top plane.
Top plane, CleanX weak.
Looking left wing.
Putting it our side.
Left plane dead. CleanX still top plane.
Maybe one more side.
Yeah, exit.
Let's
go. Hit him out.
Absolute one box still. Nice.
Alright, all their side.
Is it already in dead? Another one midpoint.
Yo, midpoint. Midpoint one missing.
Yo, they're tractor. I'm naded. I'm getting naded. Yeah, I'm dead.
I'm going to.
Bottom bricks. Bricks.
Yo, one's bottom left wing.
We need to hold, guys.
They're hitting graffiti.
Get graffiti.
One's up. Front time.
He's contest box.
Graffiti Vance.
Yo, front tower. He's weak.
It's absolute.
Nice, 3.
Let's go to me. Yo, it's Cammy. Cammy's on new. He's on new. He was.
He's on new.
Yo, block, guys. Block.
Yeah, we're good.
Yo, garage.
He jumped the wall.
Inside garage is weak.
One's A control Vance.
Raj is dead. Front out. CleanX weak in time. He's under wood wall. 3. Last guy. I'm staying alive.
20 tower.
Back jets, 2 tower, maybe 3 red crate right now.
Gens, Vance. Oh my god.
Stay down, Matt. HyDra cross the hill.
Yo, one wood, gens. One gens.
Yeah, right side wood.
Let's see wood. Gens with hill. Cammy, absolute time.
Side wood.
Cammy's absolute time.
Nice, good job. Drop our nades.
Vance.
Drop nades.
He has no jumping now. I'm hitting right.
I didn't hit him.
Give me time still. They're playing steps. They're exit inside. Just holding.
I pushed right.
Inside the exit, guys.
I heard that. Side wood, Vance.
Yo, they got me. 2 and 2 and
Side wood, Vance.
Let's go in their steps right now. Steps right now, CleanX.
It's small.
I'm hiding. I'm playing stacks.
CleanX stairs dead.
One's in new.
Low left wing cam.
Yo, in small got me. He's weak inside. Inside weak in small.
All right, I got to check in with the comms there toward the end of our first set of rotations. And really, Stud, like I said, it was OpTic kind of leading the way, but Ultra, a good P4 and great control of P5 did not allow for those OpTic spawns to do all that much.
Yeah, they did a great job, especially at that P4 hardpoint, because OpTic, they were able to break in with about 30 seconds left. And when usually you're having that spawn for that P5, you're able to get a good chunk of time off of that P5 hardpoint. But with Cleanex being in there, in that position early, he was able to shut down 2, but Envoy, he answers right there with 2 of his own. Make it 3 as he takes control of playing by himself. He's the pilot now.
He indeed is the pilot, and the destination is now under his control. A few players enter in toward the perspective, and while he doesn't in fact drop, the presence is without a doubt felt, and that's a play that you want to see go off. Had somewhat of a slower performance yesterday, Stud.
Yeah, but right here with OpTic, only 10 seconds remaining on this P1 hardpoint, you do not want to mess up once again. You need to make sure that you're holding this, because they got a full 60 last time. Toronto were able to immediately get flipped out. But the pressure's starting to come in. Scump is going to drop. Bance actually wins one from the front side as well, but he's immediately going to get traded. OpTic are holding still.
Yeah, good crossfire despite the early contests out of Ultra. The SMGs trying to be incredibly sneaky. Cammy fighting himself toward the back. That's going to be 1. So with that, OpTic's focus instantly becomes toward where is Cammy hiding? Where is he located? Takes down Formal once more. So the push, as you see in the bottom left of your screen, starting to formulate, while OpTic is also spotting out. Cammy has yet to drop, and just like we saw on the first set of rotations, it is now this time Ultra claiming control here at P2.
And that's great work from Ultra, because this 30 seconds is so huge. You're going to go to the middle of the map and just pay attention to the mini-map. Look at what Bance is doing. He's immediately trying to flip these spawns. Kills going back and forth. Cleanex with the big 2-piece, but with OpTic dropping a couple players, they're going to start spawning all the way across the map behind that P2 hardpoint. Ultra, you're not really mad about this. 10 seconds remaining here. They're going to be able to get set up for that P3.
Yeah, and that has to hurt if you're OpTic, given the situation, given the circumstance, but going to be down by about 40 points. We'll see how they begin to try and regain. Nice long shot coming through from Envoys. It's Ultra already at the next rotation toward bottom plane. Not a hill that you often see a ton of time really get accrued. It's about that positioning, where you want to be located on the map for A Street and that upcoming P5. But great clearance to start here from OpTic. That's going to be 3 to Ultra's 1. Trades, the 1-for-1s without a doubt favoring OpTic, and Scump having Cammy run right into his lap as they jump on in, and now they've got control of bottom. Happen to be aware of who could be on the flank. Bance, as always, trying to be incredibly annoying, be a thorn in the side. Formal's there to take him down.
But this is good work overall by OpTic, even though they haven't really got a good chunk of time here, only being down by about 35 points. Dashy and Formal still picking up kills left and right, but now it all comes down to this P4 hardpoint. That's going to be 3 dead, so OpTic are going to be here early. With that player dropping though in Envoy, Dashy finds 2. No one's going to be on this hardpoint, and just look at the minimap. Ultra are starting to spawn out towards back P2.
Positioning for Ultra could be quite good here. We'll see as that starts to change, and just like that, the read. Communication from OpTic is stellar. Great work to notify and be aware of that split spawn. You had players looking every single direction, and how important this time now is for OpTic. Down by 20 points is Cammy and Insight. Currently holding it down right now inside of the HP. Dashy goes for the challenge. He gets dropped, and that's a few down for OpTic in a row. Ultra now reaching that double century mark.
And Cammy just made an unbelievable play. He was the only player on this side of the map. He was able to win not 1, not 2, but 3 gunfights on the hardpoint. He's unfortunately going to get stuck by a nade by his own teammate in Benjamin Bance. But still, Ultra have the spawns for that P5. With only 45 seconds from closing out this game, they can get a good hold. They have the potential to close it out.
Yep, Toronto in the driver's seat. Insight with a major kill there versus Formal, as it's Envoy who really wipes away the point. But current rotation now at the hands of the Ultra. And now the focus comes for Chicago. How do you want to try to break this? What is the focus for how you begin to do this? And well, the streaks are without a doubt going to help out. We'll see what the artillery can do. Make some noise at least. Explosions aplenty. But nobody from Ultra getting taken down because of them. Envoy trying to make some noise happen. And the